welcome back to the Old Guy Network. I am the Old Guy, the OG Jay, and you know who you are. Well, Sunday, it came and gone, and you probably noticed there was no episode of Dumpster Diving Sunday, and that's because we didn't do it. And I wanted to explain real quickly why we didn't have one this week. It's got nothing to do with Zane, the OG in training. It's got nothing to do with anybody but me. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that have heard the term migraine headache, and a lot of people are under the misconception that it indeed is just a bad headache. And I hear it all the time. A lot of my friends, I can't do that today, I've got a migraine. But then I watch them and I see them driving cars and playing with their kids and all that, and they don't really know what a migraine is. So I just wanted to explain that real quick. I'm not here to make anybody feel sorry for me, because I've been suffering from these things since I was a little kid, and they don't seem to ever go away. And when I have one, it just shuts me down for the day. So just wanted to briefly show you here. I'm over at the website Healthline.com. Now their definition is probably the best definition I've ever seen. Migraine is a neurological condition that can cause multiple symptoms. It's frequently characterized by intense, debilitating headaches. Symptoms may include nausea, vomiting, difficulty speaking, numbness or tingling, and sensitivity to light and sound. And migraines are often run in families, and they affect all ages. And that is absolutely correct. That's 100% correct. Mine are even worse than that. The tingling and numbness they're talking about, that only happens for me. Can't speak for anybody else, but for me that happens on one side of my body. And yeah, it's like having one side of your body shot with Novocaine, and it's terrible. The thing they don't go into much detail, but as far as the sensitivity to light, that's a little misleading, because yeah, you do have a sensitivity to light and sound, but the sensitivity of light, there's a condition called a halo. And what that is, imagine what you're looking through is a monitor. At the top of the monitor, it's all white and light, and it's almost like a cloud. And you can't see. And at the bottom of that monitor would be a million little bubbles, and you're looking through that. So that's what my vision is like when I have one of these. Then you get something called aphasia. And if you're unaware of what aphasia is the inability to speak or comprehend or just communicate with anybody. Usually it comes from a bad head injury, but when I have a migraine, that's it. First thing I lose is my sight, then I get the numbness, and then I will get either sick to my stomach, or you get the idea, it's not pleasant, and then I get aphasia, and the aphasia lasts for a long time. The migraines now, thankfully, the older I get, the less severe they are. I used to get these for up to 3 days in a row. Now they only last about an hour or so, but the aphasia can last for a day or longer. And so yesterday, when I had a migraine, I couldn't do anything. And even after I waited hours later, I wanted to do a video to explain this and just kind of educate you on what these really are. I couldn't, because I really couldn't speak. I couldn't articulate. I mean, even today, it's a little tough for me. So again, I'm not trying to garner any sympathy here. It is a condition that millions of people have, but it has a big misconception. A lot of people think it's just a bad headache. The fact is, my head doesn't even hurt when I have one of these. It's all the other stuff. And it's hard to explain it to people, because they don't believe that you're going through what I go through. And I tried to explain it to one of my friends a few years ago, and he said, that doesn't sound like a headache, that sounds more like a little stroke. And I guess you could compare it to that. It's not a stroke. It's just it's a neurological condition that causes your brain to malfunction. You know, I don't need my brain to malfunction. It malfunctions on its own most of the time anyway. But I just wanted to to get that out there and let people know that if you have ever had any of those symptoms and you don't know what it is, you didn't go to a doctor, maybe you don't have insurance, and you thought there was something really physically wrong with, or physiologically wrong with you, go see a doctor. That's the best thing you can do. Go see a neurologist. There are medications for it, and they're not life-threatening, except for the fact that I did have one once when I was doing about 75, 80 miles an hour on the interstate, and I wasn't alone. There was a lot of traffic. I was going through with the flow of traffic, and one of these hit me, and all of a sudden I'm blind, and you got to try to get to the side of the road. That's really terrifying. That's why I don't drive on the interstate as much as I used to when I was a kid. It's a pain. It really is. So if you have these, or know somebody that has this condition, I feel you. I really do. Not the end of the world, but you can get some information, and I am going to leave some links in the description. So to this website that we just quoted from, and Healthline.com, and also maybe a couple of other ones, give you an idea of what you can do about it, and because it's something that most people don't understand. They think, oh, he just has a headache. No, it's not a headache. And people who watch me go through this, thinking before it's just a headache, and then they see what I actually go through, they're like, wow, that's not a headache. You sure there's not something more wrong with you? And it's a damn migraine. It's why they used to call them migraine headaches. They don't anymore. They just call them migraines, because it's not a traditional headache. The upside of it is I don't get traditional headaches. I don't know why, but I very rarely, unless I drink a lot, maybe I would, but I rarely get real headaches, or what you consider a headache. So, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check that out. Hopefully we'll have another episode of Dumpster Diving Sunday, because I really miss it. It's fun, and I get to hang out with my good buddy Zane, and I look forward to doing that again. Hopefully this Sunday we'll do another one. So thank you very much for checking out the video, and I hope it helps some people, and I hope it at least gives you a better understanding of what a migraine is. So, and I'll check you back here next time. So please like, share, subscribe, and a big thank you. We're approaching 100 subs, 100 subscribers, and I gotta tell you, I never thought I'd see that. My goal is 10,000. Okay. I'd be happy with 10,000, and right now I'm almost at 100, or I'm creeping up on 100. So I got a lot of work to do, and thank you very much for subscribing to the channel if you have already, and if you haven't, go ahead. It only takes a second. So I am the OG, and I'm out.